Hello everybody and welcome to part 11 of Let's Play Shovel Knight Treasure Trove. Today I'm going to do Flying Machine Lair of Propeller Knight, so let's start. Right at the beginning, new enemy. Regular floatzoms do not pose a threat unless collided them, which inflicts 1 damage point. They usually serve as platform for Shovel Knight's shovel drop. When killed, they don't drop any treasures. These floatzoms are a variant of the original floatzom. These ones act just like regular floatzoms, but can also electrify themselves for a few seconds. When the player touches an electrified blue floatzom, even if they're using a weapon, the player will take damage. At one point, floatzoms, when killed, were able to spawn miniature versions of themselves that would pursue the player, as seen in the game's trailer. This behavior is not present in the final product. There was a metal variant of floatzom, an invincible variant, but it was ultimately cut. New enemy. Lightning wisms are exclusive to the flying machine. Their attack can be quite tricky to dodge. They fire an electric orb that immediately splits into 2 smaller projectiles once it's directly above or below the player. When the orb splits, 1 projectile goes up while the other goes down, and they both move very quickly, which makes them difficult to dodge. If the projectile is hit before it reaches its target, it will instead split immediately. With a well-timed attack, the split projectiles can hit the caster and defeat it in 1 hit with the accumulated damages. In this room is the main mechanics wind. Wind is a platforming challenge in Shovel Knight found only on the flying machine stage. Wind is an invisible force that pushes the protagonist in the direction it is blowing. The direction of the wind can be noted by the small green leaves that are pushed around the screen when it blows. The wind can either be constant or change directions at a fixed interval. With the wind at his back, the protagonist can jump much farther or higher depending on the wind direction, and vertical wind will hold him aloft as long as it lasts. Wind will often blow the protagonist into spikes, pits, and enemies. And here are cannonballs. Cannonballs are a platforming challenge in Shovel Knight found only in the flying machine. They are shot out of cannons at regular intervals and can be shovel dropped to bounce across obstacles. They also deal damage when hit by them, but cannot be destroyed by shovel or bomb attacks. Cannonballs come in 2 sizes, but both behave identically. And in that room is also new enemy. Hover minas are minor enemies in Shovel Knight. They blow air to push their target, which do not deal damage themselves, but will often cause them to fall into spikes or pits. These are probably the most common enemies on the flying machine altogether, and are very frustrating to deal with near cannonballs and bottomless pits. This other type of hover mini look identical, but colored blue. They do not try to kill their target, but instead help them cross a pit by creating an upward draft. The dinghy dropper is a mini boss in the flying machine in Shovel Knight. It is a small flying boat piloted by 3 hoverhafts. The dinghy dropper has a total of 16 hit points, making it nearly as resistant than a stage boss. The boat moves towards its enemy by rising, and then falls abruptly whilst dropping 2 bombs. The ground shock can stun anyone standing on it. When the boat falls, the bombs can be bounced over to the dinghy to damage it. It is only vulnerable from the left and right sides. Hoverhafts are powerful floating minor enemies in Shovel Knight. They are encountered in the flying machine. Hoverhafts have 4 hit points and can attack with swipes and charges whilst floating, making them tricky enemies. Hoverhafts are the equivalent of Goldamas to the flying machine. They are both humanoid enemies who wield conventional weapons and take multiple hits to be downed. Furthermore, the flying machine has several statues of hoverhafts similar to the Goldama statues in Pridamore Keep. And last relic in the game, Propeller Dagger Saw through the sky blade, first for 4000 gold. The Propeller Dagger is a relic that allows Shovel Knight to fly horizontally through the air over a short distance. The Propeller Dagger can be used to ram into enemies. The Propeller Dagger can be purchased from Chester in the flying machine stage for 4000 gold, or in the village for 5000 gold, if it was not picked up before completion of the level. The propeller dagger is the subject of the flying feat, which is earned by defeating 3 enemies using the propeller dagger without touching the ground. As you can see, I caught the first music sheet with a fishing rod. It's been a long time since we last caught music sheet with a fishing rod. I think it was Iron Whale stage when we last time did that. And again we are at the beginning of the room. We made 1 lap and we are at the beginning again. Now wait until they are not charged and shovel drop until you reach the ladder. I can't believe I did that on my first try. It's best to use dagger because of enemy orbs, you can just fly over them. There is a secret here. On my first playthrough it took me a long time to find it because there's no indication. Second music sheet is right here. And that's all collectibles, 2 music sheets and relic. That's a lot of gold in that chest. And checkpoint. Compared to the next room, this one is quite easy. You have 1 enemy fan, some cannonballs. And all of a sudden wind, auto scroll, green hover meanies. Also you have fans. Platforms that fall when you step on them. Good thing I don't need gold anymore, since I bought everything. It's best for you to wait a little bit before you shovel drop on cannonballs. And checkpoint. Let's explain me how fans are working. Fans are a platforming challenge in Shovel Knight found primarily in the flying machine. Fans either operate continually or switch on and off at a fixed interval. While on, fans blow the protagonist in the direction they are pointed. This can either lift the protagonist to new heights or push him into spikes or pits. You have some gold behind that blue thing. Fans are on timer, so wait a little bit before you jump. Where hoverhaft is behind it is a secret. Just with some gold that I don't need at a moment. And checkpoint. In this room the wind is going up and down. It's on timer. So you need to take advantage of the wind to get to the other side. Don't go too high because spikes are insta kill, and don't go too low because you will die. Use these platforms to your advantage as well. When you go up, hide under. When you go down, stand on them and wait for the wind to change direction. And that's it. This room is done, so let's do the next one. In this room wind is blowing from left to right and from down to up. When wind is blowing up you need to get to the platform, and when it's blowing from left to right you need to use momentum to get to the other side. Now shovel drop on the jellyfish enemy. Then you shovel drop on cannonballs. And final checkpoint. There's some food on the right if you need it. And now it's boss time. Propeller Knight has several different attacks. He will fly across the stage, make quick lunges with his sword, use his helmet to launch you into the air, and then attempt to impale you on his rapier on the way down, or try to blow you into the holes at the edge of the stage. After lowering his health, he will call in an airship to attack you. They first launch bombs at you, which he will then try to blow at you. You can knock the bombs into Propeller Knight, doing heavy damage. Upon losing more health, Propeller Knight will command the airship to launch 2 large cannonballs at the stage, breaking the platform into 3 segments and making positioning markedly more difficult. And let's rest. After the rest I will open that red chest. I hope you know what's inside. And don't forget to put out the fire. And final red chest meal ticket is mine. Final area is unlocked now. I'm very close to completing this let's play, only couple of episode left. Let's give Bard his music sheets and Gastronomer his meal ticket. And let's buy a last meal ticket. I guess I need some gold for this last meal ticket. 2 meal tickets for 2 HP bubble upgrades. Feat accomplished decked out. You unlock this when you buy all relics, equipment and upgrades. And 2 music sheets are called High Above the Land and the Spin Controller. I'm going to end the part here. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in next one.